Is the Canton Network or the Canton Coin just another institutional rug pull like most people think that it is? Or is this a massive juggernaut in the crypto space that was designed and developed for the institutions by the institutions? By the end of this video, I think you're going to realize it's the latter. So we're going to cover some news stories just from 2026 alone that came out. We are talking about JPMorgan, NASDAQ, the London Stock Exchange, and Hex all working with the Canton Network. And we're also going to take a look at some of their validators, their super validators as well, so you can see all the players that are truly working with this network as of right now. So let's go ahead and jump to this first article that comes from the Canton Foundation on February 9th, 2026. And what you're going to see from this article is that they are serious about developing and growing this network and keeping it sustainable, not just another rug pull. So let's go ahead and check it out. Read along with me. It says CIP 100 is now approved, and it formalizes how Canton Network's 5% development fund CIP 0082 is governed. The fund is administered by the Canton Foundation's Tech and Ops Committee with a clear process for proposals, milestone-based grants, and accountability. Expect quarterly public reporting on receipts, balances, commitments, disbursements, and outcomes, plus an annual independent audit. Funding is designed to be earned through delivered milestones, with recipients minting Canton Coin directly when milestones are verified rather than routing funds through the foundation. The goal is simple: sustained long-term investment in core protocol R&D, developer tooling, security audits, and ecosystem infrastructure that compounds utility over time. So essentially, Canton Network is going to keep putting money back into the system and provide more transparency through their network so you can have access to what they're doing with their funding. And they're taking this very seriously. And this is one of the big attributes I think Canton Network has for these institutions. They want to be able to grab this information and validate what they're doing is actually what's happening behind the scenes, right? This is more transparency. This is what you need for these institutions to feel comfortable to come in. And if you already know about Canton Network, it is a privacy transparency layer for these institutions to feel comfortable to have control over their assets. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're providing for them. If you are new to the Canton Network, I do have several videos on them. This is a playlist right here. You can go ahead and check that out. It'll be in the pinned comments and description should you want to see it. And for anybody that is new here, all my research is in my description. I want you to use this research and go learn this stuff for yourself. Anything on this channel is not financial advice, of course. So now let's move into the JPMorgan story, which is probably the thing that got your attention, right? So check it out with me. This comes from Digital Asset, which is more the parent company of the Canton Network. So this comes out on January 7th, 2026, just in case anybody had missed it. It says Digital Asset and Connexus by JPMorgan announced intention to bring USD JPM Coin, JPMD, natively to the Canton Network. And I'm just going to read a couple of highlights right here from the global co-head of Connexus by JPMorgan. This collaboration moves the industry forward in transacting on public blockchains. JPM Coin delivers the security of bank-issued deposits and settlement, combined with the speed and innovation of 24/7 near real-time blockchain transactions. And bringing JPM Coin to Canton, we can further increase efficiency and unlock liquidity. So we have one of the largest banks in America, JPMorgan Chase, backing and using the Canton Network. This is why I'm saying I don't think it's another rug pull. But if you need more validation to who else is working with this network, and again, some people, you may be aware of it, some of you people may not be aware of it. Let's look at their most recent chart that shows all their companies that are either validators on the Canton Foundation, super validators, etc. When you see how massive this truly is, you'll get what I'm talking about. And this is updated as of February 2nd, 2026. So go ahead and look at your screen with me. It's a bit of an eye chart, but I will try to break it down as much as I can and make it simple. So this top half of this circle here, if you'll follow along, it is the Canton Foundation. So these are all the people that are working with Canton and being a part of the foundation that gives you the oversight and saying this what they want the network to do or doesn't want the network to do. Then we have these validators down here. There are 700 plus validators. These are just a couple that we see on this outer circle here. Then the inside circle is the super validators, as you can see. And I'm going to point out just a couple of these super validators just for people to see how big this is. We have Fireblocks, DTCC, We have Broadridge, which we talked about in the previous video, Layer 0, Zero Hash, USDT 0, Circle. We have Wormhole. Wormhole is an exciting one. We're going to talk about that here more a little bit. And then we have Alchemy. If anybody's checking out Alchemy Pay, something to check out, by the way. Then we have Chainlink, etc. This will be down in the description. You can, check this out anytime you want. So I'm bringing up Wormhole for a reason. So I've been doing a couple of videos on Wormhole. I try to do a series on them, and just to be transparent, this isn't a woe is me thing, but I'm trying to bring the crypto community more of projects that people don't typically research or hear about on YouTube, because not a lot of creators like to talk about it because they do flop. They don't get a lot of attention. But I'm personally digging into Wormhole, and I'm standing on Wormhole being a massive player in the future, because as we went through that playlist or through that series, we've learned a lot about Wormhole. And as you just saw on the super validator for Canton Network, Wormhole is a super validator. So what are they providing for the Canton networks? Well, check it out with me here. We have the purpose, you're here, is the integration that allows assets on the Canton network to be bridged to other chains, enhancing the network's ecosystem for institutional finance. So Wormhole is a massive player that's going to allow Canton Network to access all these other chains. It's not the only one, of course, because they are working with other companies that provide that, but they are one of the bigger players. And I have this video right here if you want to check it out. It's just the bigger players that are working with Wormhole as well. It's one of the most recent ones. I do have a Wormhole playlist if you want to check that out as well. But I think it's worth going down the Wormhole and checking that out if you're interested in that. But let's keep rolling on, and we've kind of seen now all the players or bigger players that are working with the Canton Network. But what about some other ones that we don't hear too much about? So this actually comes out of January 5th, 2026, and this is Stable Dash, but check it out. This is going to be the NASDAQ story. So read along with me here. Check it out. It says NASDAQ joins Canton Network as a super validator. The move enhances the institutional credibility of the network, which is designed for large-scale financial workflows and has contributed to a surge in the price of its native token. So you've probably seen how the Canton coin has gone off in price here recently as of November 2025, I believe is when it happened. That's when they started really bringing the public's awareness to this network, and people started getting more and more attention to it. As such stories with NASDAQ coming out, JPMorgan coming up, DTCC was a massive one that got a lot of people's attention. But what about other ones that are also getting attention, not just in the United States? So check this out. This comes out January 15th, and this is from the London Stock Exchange themselves. Check it out with me. It says LSG launches digital settlement house. It says LSG today announces the launch of digital settlement service, digital settlement house, LSG Dish, an open access platform which enables programmatic and instantaneous settlement between the independent payments network, both on and off chains, through commercial bank deposits held on Dish Ledger. The service will enable 24/7 instantaneous movement of commercial bank money in multiple currencies and jurisdictions, PVP and DVP, providing a real cash leg for FX and digital asset transactions and settlements. As we roll down here, this is where Canton Network comes in play. It says the launch follows a successful proof of concept in collaboration with digital asset and consortium of leading financial institutions, completing transactions on the Canton Network. So we have NASDAQ and the London Stock Exchange working with Canton Network. So again, this is a massive network that I don't think you're going to see a rug pull on. And the Canton coin itself is interesting because it's not something that they're just going to be able to hand out freely. It's minted by doing work on the network. This is how you get rewards for it, is working on the Canton Network. You get paid back in the Canton coin, which is pretty interesting. It's a different way to do tokenomics, right? So now let's move into the next one, which is Hex Trust. So not a lot of people, I'm sure, are aware of Hex Trust, but let's look at who they are and why this is an important one. And it gets kind of interesting because if anybody is a Ripple fan, XRP fan out there, and I know we have a divided group down in the comments about Ripple versus Canton, I think you're going to start seeing that they're working together, not against each other. So let's go ahead and check out the news story that comes out on January 29th, 2026. This is from Hex Trust themselves, so let's take a look at it. It says, Hex Trust becomes a super validator on the Canton Network, advancing on-chain institutional financial services. I'm not going to read through the article. I will have it down in the description, but I do want to point out this right here. So we have trusted by top-tier ecosystems, Algorand, Flare, Hedera, Polkadot, Polygon. Those are just a couple of their crypto companies working with Hex. But this is the one I want to point out too, is Hex and Ripple. This is December 12th, 2025. We have Hex Trust to issue and custody wrapped XRP, WXRP, expanding XRP's DeFi utility across multiple blockchains. So this is what I'm trying to say is, when we're looking at the crypto space in general, it does not pay to be tribal. It does not pay to back one company and say the other ones are terrible or garbage or whatever. When you start putting the bigger picture together, Canton, Wormhole, Algorand, Hedera, Ripple, they are all working together as one giant ecosystem. When we boil it down, that's what's happening here. And for anybody out there who's worried about Canton going to beat Ripple or XRP, you have to understand the key difference is Canton and Ripple are not competitors. Yes, some things do overlap, but they are solving two different problems. If you want me to do a comparison side by side, an actual deep dive in between Canton Network and Ripple, show you the difference between the two, what they're both working on and how they're separate, but also how some things do overlap, I'm more than happy to do that. We did that with, Wormhole and was it Quant? I think we did that with recently. Yeah, it was Quant. It's Quant and Wormhole. I was showing the difference between the two. I think that helped a lot of people get some clarity on the different projects here. So if you want to see that with Canton and Ripple, let me know down in the comments. Just say Canton Ripple or say XRP or something like that, so I know what you're talking about. But lastly, a lot of people also ask, where can you get a cold wallet or hard wallet to store your Canton coin? Well, there's something coming out with Ledger. It hasn't happened yet to my knowledge, but check it out. Check out your screen here. I thought this was fascinating to show you that that is going to happen at some point here. So this comes from Canton Network. Check it out with me. So we have Ledger. So Ledger is actually a super validator, and network utility is wallets, and it's connected to the global synchronizer. So we have Ledger being a super validator for the Canton Network. So it's only a matter of time for Ledger releases announcements saying that you can now hold your Canton coin on Ledger. So stay tuned to that, stay patient. I think that is coming around the corner here soon. So that's all I have for you guys on this video. Hopefully you learned something in this video. And if you do want to see that Ripple Canton video, let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button if you like something in this video. And you like this kind of reporting that isn't any kind of hype or false hope or trying to get you excited about anything, consider hitting that subscribe button. We would love to have you a part of the channel. Before I let you go though, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and become that change you want to see. I'll see you on the next one.